And we are live. It's 2:30 p.m. on a Wednesday afternoon, and you're watching Innovation Fika with Donny and guests, live from Techniking in One here in beautiful, sunny Stockholm, Sweden, at KTH, center of Stockholm, every Wednesday afternoon, 2:30 p.m. Innovation Fika. Don't forget that. Live on today, crazy everywhere. Let's see here. I've got this one to show you today. Live from Stockholm on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Unibit, and Twitter. So crazy bananas all over the place today. So tune in wherever you are, comment, come with fantastic suggestions, and say hi to me and my guests, of course. Every Wednesday afternoon, 2:30 p.m., Innovation Fika. Follow me on LinkedIn. Donny S. Silagon is on LinkedIn. I post almost daily on innovation, entrepreneurship, and inspiration. But also now I have a separate page for this broadcast called Innovation Fika with Donny. Check that out on LinkedIn. All of the broadcasts are on that page, and I'm also uploading all of the old broadcasts. We are now, you might have seen on the pre-screen, episode 50. I've done 50 episodes. Thank you. 50 episodes of this live broadcast, and I'm looking forward to the coming 50. So today is kind of an anniversary as well, 50th anniversary. Really cool. But yes, of course, and also all of the content, all of my daily posts, all of the videos, everything I write or record is on Medium, on one place, all in aggregated one place. Very easy to find. So if you want to read 405 posts on entrepreneurship and startups, they're all there in order from 1 to 405, which was yesterday. And this evening I'll be posting 406. Enough about that. Enough about me. You're not here to hear about me. You are here to hear about my guests. And my wonderful guests today are Frida and Kim from the Branding Table.
Yes. Hello.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to this enormous studio full of live audience.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's great to have you
so
here.
much.
Yes.
We've known each other for some time, and I am really happy that you decided, come into the picture. Here you go.
There we are.
There you go. So let's see. I know you. They might not know you, even though you are like world famous.
Of course.
Pretty much.
Pretty much, yes.
Yes.
Anyway, so let's start by just telling everybody who you are and what the Branding Table is. But let's start with you, okay?
All right. Yeah. So my name is Kim, and this is Frida, my colleague.
Yep.
And for the past 20 years or so, we've been working as creatives. Different design agencies, communication agencies, all over the spectrum there, helping with creativity and strategy in different projects. And after working so many years in this in this business, then you suddenly realize that you see all the great stuff, and then you also see the backside of any business. You see the what things are working, what things are not working. Why are people doing working in this way that's not being productive? Is not giving any value. It's just a way that everybody's just accepting. That's how it is. And there's so much time, energy, money, everything's wasted there. So together with a colleague, me and Frida, we started thinking about, okay, well, what is, how can we kind of structure this so we have some kind of order to this chaos? And we started like finding these different elements and scaling them down. And then we started building them together. And then we started creating this thing, which is called the Branding Table. Which is supposed to help anybody who owns a brand, who, if you're a startup, you start a company, but you also start a brand that people recognize you with it. And so we started like gathering all these pieces together just to simplify and to be able to work with it.
So based on 20 plus experience from the advertising and branding agencies that you've been working on, you've built a model and you've actually started a company as well called the Branding Table.
So it's what started as a tool to help us as an agency, and really helped us, and it helped our clients as well to say, finally we get this overview, which is amazing. But then the next step was then we sort of realized that, well, we could, instead of just giving it one client at a time, let's do something that can help everybody at the same time. So that's now where we are now, where we started the Branding Table, and we're building our own app towards it. It's our own SaaS. So we're also taking this leap, which maybe some of you guys out there are doing as well. So we're in the same boat. It's a great boat. So
I bet there are some startups watching this that can probably give you some tips on the whole startup thing as well. So there's a good exchange thing going on.
You guys give tips, so
Thank
you're gonna have our contact details. So let's keep in touch.
Also, and we are. I mean, we're very big on tools and any kind of support systems here. I mean, we've developed our own tool that I actually ran with here on this show with my colleague Gustav Nortander 4 or 5 shows back, which we developed. We have. I mean, actually, I forgot to say this. Yesterday was our 15th birthday, KDH Innovation.
Hey.
All right.
I don't mean to sort of hijack your show here, but yesterday so in Swedish, we'd say we were moppe. So we fyllde moppe igår. So
where you get to ride the moped. You're allowed to have the driver's license.
Now you're allowed. You've ridden it before, but now you're allowed to.
Oh, yeah.
Shh. Anyway, so but we're big on. We're very big on tools and the tool we have built, the innovation readiness model, which we released a number of years ago. Right. Today is actually spreading as best practice in the world. I mean, I think we have about 600 places using it, companies and universities. Fantastic. So
fantastic.
You have the future ahead of you.
Yeah, we're going to start using it.
Yeah, and you're still young kids, so you've got all all the future. So back to the branding table. Let's. I actually have a picture of it here that I can show everybody. So I can actually do this. And there we go. And that is, and let's take away the Frida and Kim because I know you and I can see the branding table. Yeah. Quite funny being at the technical university and actually showing like, I've kind of seen a table that looks kind of like this before. I didn't like it when I was at school, but here I sort of live with it in a different way.
I think we're at the right place.
This is so the right place to show this.
Yeah.
So tell me about what we're looking at here. What are we actually looking at?
Yeah. So we talked about those elements that we were piecing together, and we realized that this is the second version. This is version 2. The first version had more elements. But then it's just like, some of these are actually the same as one another. What you see here is that everything, as soon as you start a company and you start talking to people about it, then you pretty much, you create a brand. And we say, okay, what is a brand? There's a lot of people have different definitions of a brand. Some people say that it's a logo. Some people say that it's, the advertising that you see around town. Some people say that it's just like, the feeling that you get from it, or those things. And the thing, all of those things are a part of the brand. It's everything, any kind of interpretation, not interpretation, any kind of emotion that you get from a brand. Or
experience.
Any type of experience. That is the brand speaking. You have the company, you have the receiver, and then you have the brand that's talking. Yeah. In the middle, that's what you get. That's experience. This is, so pretty much what you get is, as soon as you start a company, all of those things, you get those automatically. So either you decide yourself what those should be, or somebody else is going to say what it is for you. For example, if you say like, if you're a company, you start a company, if you're not very clear on like, this is a vision or a mission for the company, then the user, the person who receives it is probably going to say, it's like, well, I think this company, that this is their goal. They just want to have my money. It's like, no, we got a deeper meaning. And that's so important to define these things. So this is a system that's divided into 3 categories. The red is a purpose. Little clue there to the title of this talk. The blue is identity. That's also something that's a lot of people focus on. They think brand is only identity. It's not only identity. That's only one of 3. And then you also have the yellow part, which is the strategy. And the strategy is also part of it. Like that.
I think you have another... We have those as well. Okay, those are the 3. So so brand is both the purpose,
and
identity,
and strategy.
So all of those 3 have to go into when you're talking about. So when you say I'm working on my brand, that's the 3 elements that you have to have in your mind.
Exactly. Yeah, you're working on 3 levels, and there's 27 of those elements that were in the previous picture. Here we've kind of narrowed it down. There are 3. If you're only going to brand too much, 27 things, crap, I'm not doing this. Bye, Donnie and Kim and Frida. I'm done. Sure, Fika. There are 3 things that you at least, if you're going to do anything, focus on these. Before you do logo or anything, think about value creation, which was a red one in the
Yeah.
purpose section. There's also your brand position, how you separate yourself from your competitors.
Yeah.
That's in the blue, identity. And then the yellow is a creative strategy. How do you go about, what's your big idea of kind of getting your message out there?
Your master plan.
Your master plan,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So that's lightning round.
That's good. That's good. Though. Thank you as well for bringing it down from 27 to 3 there for me as well. For lucky I spit out my gum before I started thinking about it. I would have been falling over.
Yeah.
No. So okay. So now we're sort of coming to the point where we're kind of. I think. What about if people have no idea what a brand is? How could we sort of explain it to them? What do they see in their everyday life? When you experience, what is it you're talking about? I mean, I know you've touched on it, but let me just be super clear on, the
We're talking about other people's experience of your company.
Yes.
In fact, so this is a tool to influence that picture and that experience in the way that you want to be perceived.
And that is so very important. Sorry, go on.
And that process
Yes.
is called branding.
Yes.
The process in which you produce communication and branding elements that will affect your brand in people's minds.
Yes.
So it's all very abstract, actually, really. But yeah.
No, sorry for interrupting, but I think you just said the magic words there as well, because it's about people's perception of your company, not what you think of your company.
Exactly.
You can maybe hope that they will think something about your company, but you need to work to influence them to think that about your company.
To understand you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you have your view of the company, you have the receiver's view.
Yes.
And then you have to align these two.
Yeah.
But how do I do that? How do I understand?
Yeah.
How do I understand what they think or feel?
Well, to start with, you need to understand who you are yourself, and that's self-awareness.
Yes.
So that's actually the more difficult part, to see yourself from the outside and understand what's my potential to be perceived as. But then, if you want to know what people think, you can just go out and ask them. But if you want to know who you are yourself, you need to ask yourself the right questions. And it all starts with a purpose. And that's why we name this the branding with a purpose. Because the most important thing is to understand, why do we exist? What's our purpose? And then incorporate that purpose into everything you do. And every part of the brand. So that's why the system is built with the red part, the purpose part, being the first one in the system.
Because you asked why, how can you align what they already think of you? They only think of you in a certain way because you've been sending them signals. And if you don't do any plans in this, for example, if you don't think about how you are perceived, then you're automatically going to send out these signals. But if you, we have a great worksheet that you can get on our website. It's that if you just sign up on our pop-up, you can access where you can, it's a worksheet where you have answer all these questions for each element.
About yourself.
Just by writing these things down, your business idea is number one. That's, that's the easy part. So technically the 26th that you have to think about. But you just write down the answer. And by committing, writing something down is like any personal goal. That does an amazing work.
And that is freely available on your website. Just go there and fill in. So no strings attached.
No, it's like we are collecting emails because we want to see how people use this, and we're going to keep on sending every once in a while, not spamming, these type of things regarding the branding table. So we're keeping an update of like what we're doing. Findings that tips, tricks, so it's going to be a little advice.
Also make it easier, because we think this is so much easier than most people think.
And that's the web address there, therunningtable.com. Just go there. There's a free worksheet to fill in, and just follow the questions, and it will help you at least at the first step to get thinking about the right things.
And thinking is the most important thing. That's our message. You need to think and reflect about yourself.
I have another question for you as well when it comes to branding, and that is because the way you are talking about brands also means that the brand is alive, and it's something that lives in the context of a world that is ever changing as well. And you can affect the perception of your brand both positively and negatively by doing things in different ways, which we also see today in today's media landscape. It's so much going on, and it feels like it's up and down the whole thing, sort of both personal brands and corporate brands.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, I came to think about one thing when you mentioned these rapid changes, that if you have a clear brand platform, it's so much easier to tackle change.
Yeah.
Because you have already thought through, okay, this is who we are, and therefore this is the natural way that we should tackle this kind of change.
Yeah.
So it makes everything easier to be
So if you have a
prepared.
good solid platform you're standing
Exactly.
on, it makes it easier to work on that. I mean, it makes sense when you hear it said.
Yeah.
But I see people, especially I'm not saying just early stage startups, but any company that haven't done the thinking.
Yeah.
They're both sort of kind of a bit all over the place.
Yep.
And they can communicate different things in different channels because there's no sort of direction for it or strategy that you said. But I think that the basic sort of solid platform of the purpose, if you have that to stand on, it makes it so much easier to be steady when the wind is blowing.
Yeah, focused, and it's holistic.
Yeah. So a good step then would be to start filling in these questions. And what type of questions? I mean, what type of questions would you ask me then? If I was a company or starting a company, and I have to think about branding. How do I work? How do I start with this?
Yeah.
Instead of just buying a logotype, I think looks nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, let's get a cool logotype.
Right. Yeah.
Where would I start? What's the first question on the?
The first question is a business idea.
Yes.
Like, how do you plan it? Because it's a business.
Yes.
And then we have to think that there is money involved.
Okay.
If it's so it's like, what's your business idea?
Yes.
How do you make money?
Yes.
Yeah. And then technically, so then it's the clients, for example. Who are your clients?
But I'd say
now the question is getting hard because not everybody, again, I'm just saying again, not everybody has done that homework, because most businesses start because somebody has something to sell and somebody bought it and then they're off and then
exactly. And then it's the time to think about, okay, someone appreciates something here. So what is the value that I'm actually selling? Not the product. So many new companies tend to focus too much on their product in their messaging instead of focusing on, okay, what does this do for people? How does it help people in their lives? And talk about that. So that's our first question, really, the most important question. What value do you sell?
Okay, so then we're getting into it, and then
exactly. So it's like we're not going to take all the questions.
No. But just
then when we start thinking about, okay, we kind of have a value. We're not only talking about products. We're thinking about what kind of value that our products give our clients. This is great, because then we're saying, okay, then we go into the next part, the kind of the blue area, the blue part, where we talk about identity. Okay, there are other people that are creating similar type of products. Now, how can we be clear that we are us and we are not them? Let's not confuse with this.
How are you going to differentiate yourself?
And it's just like, we want to be innovative. Well, the other companies are also innovative. Okay, well, how are we different? And then you can have to dig deep. Like, how do we want to be as a company? Are we the happy company?
How are we different? Authentically.
You can have socks, happy socks. Those colorful socks. It's like socks used to be boring. There used to be colorful socks before, but happy socks put it, we are the happy ones. We make people joyful just by wearing color. That's great.
It's a great focus.
And then so it's just kind of separating yourself from the competitors. We are here. You can be you're the gray socks. We are the colorful.
And that's also interesting, because when we work with the early stage cases here as well, we go through similar kinds of processes. And just what you mentioned there is the first exercise of just putting yourself on a map and then understanding which other not only logotypes, but which other sort of alternative solutions
Exactly.
will the possible user
Yeah.
use to solve a similar kind of problem?
Yeah.
What am I up against?
Yeah,
It might not be like direct like this.
Yeah.
It might be something else.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I need to be aware
Exactly.
of
It could be
You need-
flip-flops,
Yeah.
you know, for some.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I need to be
Happy
aware of
flip-flops.
that
Yeah.
if I'm going to, if I'm going to convince them that this is a good alternative.
Yeah.
I need to be aware of
Yeah.
what else they are looking
Yeah.
at.
And
Yeah.
that's the homework you need to do first.
Yeah. So the important thing is now that you land this first, how
Yeah.
you separate yourself, because that can help decide how your logo is going to be.
Exactly.
If we're taking the examples where
Yeah.
Happy Talk, like let's not have like a corporate logo. We're a happy logo.
Yeah.
You know, then you bring that element
But
in.
it makes more sense then.
Yeah.
And then you don't sort of start with we don't start with, oh, this is cool, and
Yeah.
then you sort of build from there. But then you actually start with, who are we?
Yeah.
Why are we?
Yeah.
Okay, well then this logotype has
Yeah.
to look like this.
Yes, exactly.
So-
It makes much more sense
Yeah.
going that
So-
way about
yeah.
it. So
and it answers the questions, what are we going to talk about and how?
exactly.
Yeah.
So I mean, we could probably, easily spend the rest of the day talking about this.
Yeah, we
but
said 2 hours today, right? For the special edition.
I know. But the thing
Yeah.
is, this is my 30-minute coffee break where I meet interesting people with interesting ideas. And today we're talking about branding, the basics of branding. The purpose, the identity, and the strategy
Yeah.
Yes.
of how to think about branding. It's not just a cool logotype. And I know that Frida and Kim, they're also here to share their top 3 tips. Right?
We're already there.
We're already there. I know we
Okay.
talked about it. We're
Yeah.
already there. It's
Yeah.
so today's this week's top 3 tips when you're thinking about branding and you're thinking about building your brand. I'll start with tip number 1.
Do you want to take that?
Tip number 1 is to be loved.
Purposeful?
Define why you exist.
Yes. When you define why you exist, it will be a key to interesting content and also interesting business development. So it drives innovation too.
Yes,
And that's magic.
and magic. The key word there, and I will latch onto that as well, and say that don't be afraid to actually state why you exist. Don't be afraid to say who you are, because that will, that's when people actually start listening to you.
Exactly.
And I see many people that are afraid of doing
Yes.
that because they're
Yes.
afraid that, but if I say this, then these might not like me. Well,
Exactly. It's only the emotional and meaningful messages that will grab people's attention.
yes,
Only. There's so much research on this.
yes. So define why you exist and
Please
make people love you. No, but it will make people love you.
Yes.
Thank you. Tip number 2, to be remembered, define who you are.
Yeah, so we talked about that. That it was just like, really find out like, okay, this is me, this is you.
Yeah.
Be different. Be proud to be different as well, because it's so much easier not pretending to be somebody else. Just define like, this is me, or this is my company.
Yeah.
This is our place. Nobody can touch us here. And that just makes everything, because that's people gonna see. It's like, that's them. Yes. If it's just pink everywhere, it's just that's the pink company.
Yeah.
Then you will, it's just that you can use colors, you can use words just to define who you are. And that's how people are going to remember you, because you need to have something very clear with all the static that's out there.
And then, thank you. And then tip number 3, to change things, define your plan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's very common that brands tend to try and do everything and take too many branding efforts instead of thinking about a clever master plan and prioritize wisely. Because you need to have the resources, you need to have the time and the money and the people to be consistent with what you do. And it's more important to be consistent with few things than to do fragmented stuff everywhere. So you need a master plan on how to act, how to always act. And our master plan, for instance, is 1, 2, 3. That's our master plan.
I can, that's something
So-
I can remember that one.
Yeah,
That's
and
very
it should be that simple. It should be so easy to remember.
Yeah, because we want to clarify this complicated world.
Yeah.
So how can we make it simple? Oh, we boil it down 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Purpose, identity,
Yeah.
strategy. Just making everything as simple as possible. And just leave it at that.
And just to add to that, I mean, this is all of the keywords here, but there's added as well. This is such a good exercise, not only to write down for yourself, but as an internal tool for a company, of a team, to get the team aligned. So do we actually understand what we are trying to achieve here? Are we in sync on that? So as a team, last week we had Anna Milan from 100 Point Challenge talking about team building. This in itself, and we were talking about explicit and implicit team building tools, and this is a perfect team building effort to do. That isn't sort of team building, but it is team building.
We've actually seen it, the instant effect from it is team building.
Because also, like, especially if you're starting a company, starting something new,
Yeah.
and you are there in the starting, and you don't agree on your purpose, well, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
If you're not aligned there,
you need to discuss it.
Yeah, then it's like lawyers in the end.
So then the whole sort of branding thing becomes a bigger thing, right?
Yeah.
It's not just a logotype, and it's just not what we write in an advertising campaign.
No, it's making your business come alive.
Yeah.
To many people at the same time.
Wonderful words. That was really
Wow.
wow. Well, this is recorded, so we can keep that for that's
prolong the pause.
I'll cut that one out as a quote. That was a good one. No, I mean we are heading. It's actually it's 14:56. As I said, half an hour coffee break every Wednesday afternoon with cool, smart guests with some really good ideas. Today we've been talking about branding with Frida and Kim from the Branding Table. If you go to their website, thebrandingtable.com, there's a free tool for anybody to fill in, to use there, to help you get your mind going.
We also have a speed review there as well. If you just want to fill in some online platform, like this is the first of our digital tool, you fill in some answers, and then we have a quick chat afterwards. About that.
We give you our personal view.
So there's also speed review there.
And that's also no strings
attached. That's just to help you on your way for those 3 parts.
So by risking you having too many people coming to you, but I'll just say that, if you go to thebrandingtable.com/speed brand speed review, that's where you can fill in that, and you can get your get a professional just advice to that.
Yes,
very good.
Please do.
And I mean, I've had a look at these things myself, and I'd just say that it's such a good way of just, again, getting the head going, because you can't answer the questions just going, you actually have to think about it. And some of the things are hard to think about because you don't know the answer yet. And especially if you're a team of people, you actually need to talk about it as well. So
and talk to others and get their view.
Yes, indeed. Anyway, thank you so much for coming. Let's see. How any last comments here? All right, cool. As from Daniel, thank you. Unfortunately, I don't own a company yet, Daniel. Yet is the key word there. But I will definitely use this for personal branding. Thank you, Daniel. That was actually a really good comment, because it's the same thinking that goes into that.
Yeah, we did that for ourselves. It works great. So
key there also, like for your for anybody for thinking internally as a personal development, what's your vision? What's your mission? What do you want to do every day that you want to wake up? What do you want to achieve? And what's the long goal, vision? Like what's in 50 years that might not be reachable, but what are you aiming for?
But the thing is, that consistency is key. If you have a long-term goal, it's not about reaching everything tomorrow. If you have a long-term goal, just chip away day by day, because I quote from a friend. He was Peter, a friend of mine, Peter Sandberg, right? And he was going to take up painting, and he because he painted when he was young, and he sort of wanted to paint again now, right? And he sort of said, "Well, I suck at this. I've lost all of my my ability, and to get back to or to get to where I want to be, it's going to take such a long time." And then his daughter, Alexandra, said to him, she said to him, "You know what? It doesn't matter if something will take a long time, because time will pass anyway."
Wow.
Yeah,
that's good.
And that's the same thing, with you have big goals, you aim for them, you have a strategy for them, you have a why and the purpose, everything like that, and then just chip away. And one day you go, oh, a year passed, or I did this, and now I know this, or I've done this, or I've built my brand, or whatever it is. So
great. And
thanks everyone for watching. No, sorry.
No, that was it. No, I was thinking for also that was a mission and vision. But think about, as a person, what value do you create to everybody that you meet?
Exactly.
That's amazing. When you find that.
And and the more value you create for others, the more value you will get back yourself. It's not, it actually, that's how it works. So it doesn't, you don't lose value by giving value. On the contrary, you get value from giving value. So let's all help value create each other as well. Thank you everyone for watching episode 50 of Innovation Fika. Fantastic. With Frida and Kim from the Running Table. Next week, I hope to see you again here, LinkedIn and all of the other platforms, 2:30 p.m. Swedish. You know the address, Innovation Fika with Donny on LinkedIn. And thank you all for today, and see you all again. And thank you for coming today.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.